You may have seen a poll on RT about a week and a half ago to determine the scariest movie ever. Based on other lists and RT staff suggestions, we compiled 10 of the scariest movies ever made. Find out which movies our viewers think are the scariest. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more interesting videos. Number 10. IT. Clown phobia is real, even if it's so common to mention it that it feels disingenuous. IT beat The Exorcist's 44-year record as the highest-grossing horror film ever. Oh, and this list's 10th place. Andy Muschietti's big-budget adaptation used nostalgia to tell the story of traumatized children, while Bill Skarsgard's Pennywise was bizarre and unsettling in all the right ways. Add jump scares, impressive set pieces, and top-notch G for a fun, scary horror film. Number 9. Insidious. James Wan and Patrick Wilson previously worked on this supernatural thriller about a coma-bound boy who channels a malevolent spirit. The story wasn't groundbreaking, but Lee Wannell added compelling mythology that spawned 3 sequels. Wan said Insidious was meant to be a corrective to Saw's outright violence, so he crafted something on a more spiritual level. The result is an effective chiller with one of the best jump scares ever put on screen. Number 8. Sinister. For those who didn't read the scientific study, here's the scariest film. Before directing Doctor Strange in 2016, Scott Derrickson had a few horror hits. A true crime writer moves his family into a house where a family was murdered, only to discover the new place may already have an evil tenant. C. Robert Cargill was inspired to write the script by a nightmare he had after watching The Ring. The creepy snuff film angle is similar to that film. Dramatic reveals and creepy set pieces outweighed any recycled genre tropes for many viewers. Number 7. Halloween. The film that launched Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter is 7th on our list. Halloween is often cited as one of the earliest examples of the slasher genre as we know it today. While it doesn't feature the realistic gore we've come to expect, it packs a lot of tension and inventive thrills in a small-scale package. Michael Myers' mask is legendary, and the giant, unstoppable killer and final girl are horror cliches. There's a reason the franchise has lasted 40 years. Number 6. The Ring. Gore Verbinski directly translated The Ring from one culture to another. Verbinski's remake of Hideo Nakata's acclaimed thriller about a cursed videotape kept the original film's striking visual imagery, a ghost in a white dress with long black hair covering her face, and scared audiences everywhere. While not as well received as its predecessor, it features a committed performance from an up-and-coming Naomi Watts and introduced many to East Asian horror cinema. Number 5. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw's grimy aesthetic gave it an air of authenticity, making it more frightening. Gunnar Hansen's Leatherface paved the way for Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. Multiple attempts to revive the franchise, and another is on the way, have failed to match the original's over-the-top, power tool-inspired terror. Number 4. The Shining. Dozens of Stephen King's novels and stories have been adapted for the big screen, including Carrie, Misery, and Pet Sematary. The Shining is Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece. The Shining features a host of memorable images and an iconic Jack Nicholson performance. The film's few jump scares are chilling, but its true power lies in how it makes you experience Jack Torrance's slow descent into madness. It's a great horror film and ranked 4th in our poll. Number 3. The Conjuring. James Wan has directed Saw, Dead Silence, Insidious, and this inspired by true events chiller. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga played the Warrens, whose work inspired the Amityville horror movies. They grounded the jump scares and freak out moments with believable world weariness. Wan and his co-stars found fresh terror in genre tropes, resulting in a growing cinematic universe. Number 2. Hereditary. Ari Aster's directorial debut was a supernatural family drama about grief. Toni Collette's Oscar-worthy performance as Annie was overshadowed by, we won't say. Hereditary struck a chord with audiences and propelled Aster to second place on our list. Number 1. The Exorcist. The Exorcist was voted the scariest movie of all time. William Friedkin's adaptation of the eponymous novel about a demon-possessed child was the highest-grossing R-rated horror film ever and the first Oscar nominee. The film is well known for the mass hysteria it inspired across the country, from protests to reports of nausea and fainting in the audience. Its dramatic pacing and dated effects may seem quaint compared to some modern horror, but the film's power is undeniable.